Cancer, your August reading. So thank you, first of all, for being, a light in this world at this time. The Seven of Wands is your energy for the month of August, but it's really being fueled only at this point. After the full moon on the 11th, there has been a real sense of reigniting something for you, but your principles are under question and your values may be under question at this time. The learning for you is in the upholding of these principles, the very ones that are being questioned or somebody trying to aggravate you. The reason for this, I believe, is so that you can step more confidently into the role of the magician towards the end of August. Beginning of September, I see this coming through as the self-actualization that you're kind of gearing up towards at this time. And maybe you say, well, I've already self-actualized. Thank you, but there's always room to make yourself better and in turn I guess make the world a better place, and that's really a key to self-actualization. And that's where I do see you, like, not to be cringy with this, but like the light in the world energy, it seems to be gearing up so that that can be more, I don't know, accessible to more people. The Three of Wands as well is important, and we have the Two of Wands at the bottom of the deck. A lot of wand energy in the reading, so that's fiery energy. So that's like a must do, or it's just like I have to do this, or I'm doing this. Like it's a lot of assertiveness, a lot of yang energy, and getting shit done. All in all, there's been a journey, right? A spiritual journey, so to speak. The Three of Wands and the wand energy talks about discovery and adventure. And you seem to have been broadening your horizons and kind of seeing things from new perspectives. It might be what's been kind of instilling your beliefs at this time, or a strong set of values. So I'm going to pull some cards now and see how the Three of Wands energy has been manifesting. What have we got? The Hermit and the Father of Swords. Okay. So something pivotal, a decision is being made for you at this time. You're making it, maybe, Cancer. It's a pivotal sort of shift around the time of, let's call it your birthday season, Cancer season. Let's call it the late June. Up until this decision, it seems to be ongoing or being determined or thought through or reflected on up until maybe around late September. That seems to be the window you're working with on a particular decision, and maybe it's been going through different types of parts of the process, varying sort of stages. But okay, that's just a side note. Take what resonates and just leave the rest. Just gonna call out what's coming through on the cards for the sign of Cancer. Okay, let's have a look. My Cancerian brother just texted me. I haven't been able to read it. I that's why I was turning my head upside down there. Okay, so let's see. For him, he's been having a great old time this summer. He's been going to concerts and festivals for the first time, and I remember how fun that was. So perhaps that's the energy, Cancer, that you've been working with, just having a great time this summer, enjoying the time that you've been spending since that window, late June, and continuing around till the end of September. There's like this kind of window of having a good time, networking, meeting people. Okay, so what's coming through with that was the Eight of Cups and the Mother of Wands. So there may be a revelation for you, or some sort of Mother of Swords is very clear here with the Father of Cups, like a kind of realization or revelation around something that it was kind of time to call a day on, or like this energy of having stayed too long at the fair, and you're like, okay, I should have gone just a little bit sooner. It's like just lingering, but there is a realization around you doing that maybe more often, or just knowing when it is time to nurture yourself. Like I said, you've been giving out this stronger yang energy recently, as I'm seeing that with the kind of Mother of Wands. Mother of Swords is very yang, Daughter of Wands very much like that, asserting, having to do all the time, having to even plan is kind of like not is more of a yang energy. So even planning and scheduling, it's all of that. You've been doing that. So this kind of feeling that you've been like a little disconnected with yourself might have come up for you, or having felt like you've lost a sense of yourself. There is this kind of moving away then from something that has been, in a sense, maybe overindulged or oversaturated. I think it's just not you or anymore. From the full moon around the 11th of August to now, Strength card and High Priestess. So two major arcana cards, just gorgeous. Like, I love that. Well, Strength usually will have some sort of a feline or something, but High Priestess, this is like a super yang card, and this is typically very yin, but with this version there's a tiger here. It is still a yin card, but there's something a little more savage to it, or a little even more feisty than the usual High Priestess. So even though you have the strength in your convictions around what you just Cancerian intuitively know to be true for you, the Strength card is saying, like, well, why don't you let other people know that? What's holding you back? What is holding you back, Cancer, is the question overall, because the Magician card has come through before the High Priestess and the Strength card even. We're seeing that the what you want to do and the will does manifest. So I guess what's holding you back from this, and this journey may be longer than just running into September, but there does seem to be something that it wouldn't surprise me if you've had to stick up for what you believe in, or assert, even if it's just to one person in your life, what you're thinking or what you know to be true for you. And especially if you've been having like not really being able to connect or misunderstanding with somebody, it's maybe also a test of your conviction and your belief, and also because of the passivity paired with the more of a assertive energy of the Strength card. You can be quietly confident. There's plenty of space for that. There's plenty of space to, I mean, this Strength card is like coming in with a rose, and white rose at that, like an offering of sort of peace. This is like a pacifist lion or something. So maybe you can be quietly confident. Maybe you just can be sure that you know yourself, and you don't have to like forcefully assert that over anybody else. There's a lot to be said about knowing when it's time to kind of just withdraw back on, or like move on from something, even emotionally, or know when you've done the healing on that, instead of kind of like revisiting and hurting yourself on these sharp glassware, accidentally standing in that. There is a knowing when to like not overindulge as well. I'm sensing in like past realizations around where, you know, you can say, well, how did I not know that at the time, or where I guess where would I be if I had have known that, or something. There's nothing really to be gained sometimes by revisiting that. What do you know now is important, and what are you going to do with that? So the Magician card, let's see where you're going overall. But two really strong cards to come out in August. If anything, that this might be just the perfect balancing of your own sort of energy. Like, you know, you're not completely dissolved of any ego, like, and kind of just spaced out or zoned out of life. You're focused and active in like in a participating way in how it's all going. But you've achieved some sort of divine balancing act. And that's great to see. I'll go one more card into that and keep pulling for the Magician then. Okay, Judgment card, one big old card to finish out August with. We'll talk about that. The Six of Wands, the Four of Cups, and the Five of Swords at the bottom of the deck. The Judgment card would suggest that as of now, you're still in some sort of a period where you haven't quite, I don't know, not like the home run. I'm thinking like, okay, the home run hasn't happened yet, but it's super close. You can feel like you're getting what you want with out of, I suppose, the situation you're in now. You feel like maybe you're in a very meaningful relationship at this point, but you're still yearning for it to just, like, I don't know, kind of there's a precipice and you're nearly there and you're just waiting for that moment in August perhaps. So looking on into the month of September and even late August, after around the 23rd when the sun moves into Virgo, we're seeing, I suppose, where you overindulged come up with you and what you're grossed out about. Sure, there was a lot to be gained, and especially on a social level, a recognition level, feeling very seen and understood and heard. That feels great. That's been fueling this kind of self-actualization. Whatever you've been working on has got you noticed and continues to get you noticed, but you will be able to identify what's been unhealthy, what's been in a sense toxic or rotten, or causing you like to be grossed out by something or somebody. You'll see where those sort of, I guess, cords need to be cut, but you can do it in a more passive way. And I'm trying to think that that's why we're kind of stepping down from the Seven of Wands to the Six of Wands. The transformation could be for you that, like, okay, I know myself, where I stand on this. I don't necessarily have to prove anything. Now, the Seven of Wands could be you showing up as a light in that way, where you kind of are like, okay, you do what you want, you think what you want, that's fine, but like not, and you know yourself quietly, and then that kind of transformation happens where you can see that disagreement or that need to validate or have the ego satisfied was perhaps some sort of an external manifestation of something you knew yourself internally, like that this was being overindulged. It's time to move on, in a sense, from this emotional cycle. Okay, Cancer, that is your reading for August. If you wouldn't mind subscribing to this channel, it would be great. I'm going to link your latest love reading below, and that's on Patreon. When you sign up to Patreon, you get readings like that plus a lot of other content in exchange. Thanks for watching.